I was a very independent person. I would go to people's houses all the time. I would have sleepovers all the time. I like to draw. I like to listen to music. I like to play the ukulele.
She definitely has been a really spirited child. So growing up very strong-willed. She's very creative and just has this wonderful spirit about her.
And then a lot of that kind of just changed after everything happened. So for my birthday, we did this Girl Scout thing where I went rock climbing, I did zip lining and archery. And then after that, we picked up my two friends, Kelly and Chloe. We went to Starbucks. I got a venti strawberry refresher. So I drank the entire thing, and then we went to the mall. I just didn't feel good. And then I went to the bathroom thinking I'd feel better afterwards. No, I screamed for my mom like I wasn't feeling good, and I ended up dry heaving over the bathroom toilet for 2.5 hours.
I just thought she wasn't feeling well. So for us, it was just kind of like, okay, like you had a really high adrenal day. You didn't eat what you were supposed to eat. There's a lot of excitement. We're hanging out with your girls at the mall. She was pretty bummed out, but, by the time we got her home and got her calmed down, she still was able to have fun with the girls. They did face masks and had a great time.
But within June, I had my first panic attack. I was with a close friend. We went to this succulent planting thing, so we would make our own little succulent pot. My mom was gonna go run some errands, and so I ended up going with them, but when we went to go drop something off that they needed to drop off, I had a full-on panic attack.
I was 10 minutes down the road. I went and grabbed her, and she was shaking, and it was just very unlike her.
I felt like I couldn't breathe. I was crying. I was shaking. I couldn't feel my legs. Like, my legs just went numb.
It was just so hard to see this fear from her. So I was trying to figure out how to get this fear to go away.
Once my mom got there, I felt so much better because she's my mom and she's always there for me, and it's nice to have her there. And that's when we figured out that I had separation anxiety from her. We're swimming in our pool, and my mom's like, all right, I'm gonna go to Starbucks. And I was like, okay, can I come? She's like, no, you're gonna stay here with Miss Debbie. I was like, no. And then I started breaking out into tears, and I thought she was joking. But I chased after her, and I held onto the car, and I literally screamed bloody murder because I didn't want her to leave, even though Starbucks is just up the street. I would have a fear that she would get hurt, or she would die, or she would just not come back. To me, it was just something happening when she's not there to me, or something happening to her when I'm not there.
The way that she was coping was, I'm just not going to eat. I feel so nauseous all the time. I made an appointment with her pediatrician, and they connected us with a therapist.
She recommended Loma Linda and their program where they would help me, and it was online because of the whole COVID thing.
For her to be in an intensive intervention program that was all day, I could not imagine how this was going to work via Zoom.
We had already been on Zoom for an entire year because of school and the COVID, and it was it's hard to pay attention.
She had to be in a place where she could be supervised, but that we couldn't hear what was happening. So the first time I was told to leave the home and Grace had to stay on Zoom, it was challenging. It was hard. Because I didn't want to rescue her, because I had been her, I was going to rescue her all the time, but I would call a friend and be like, okay, she's okay though. I know she was safe. I know she had counselors. But yeah, just seeing her so out of character, to scream and cry for me just to go for a walk was she's pretty sick.
I didn't like my therapist for this because she just she made me separate from my mom. It's I think I'd be mad at anybody if they made me do that.
It took some time. It wasn't overnight.
Some of them were just making goal charts. Some of them were drawing, figuring out like what kind of person you are.
I can remember this one activity that we had to do, draw a bridge. So we're all around this piece of paper and we're drawing this bridge. And then below the bridge in the water had to be like all the difficulties and the challenges of whatever would stop you from this goal.
She was just really like slow, taking it step by step. She just really was understanding.
You don't know how many people just wanted me to tell my child to just buck up, suck it up. And I think there's a lot of issues in today's society because of how we were raised. We can't raise our children how we were raised. And clearly it didn't work because I think a lot of us have mental health issues. I think asking for help is a courageous thing to do rather than just waiting until it's kind of too late.
Grace felt like the incident where she got sick and was kind of stuck with mom in the bathroom for, a few hours, really triggered future and like anticipatory anxiety for her around, am I gonna get sick every time I eat now? Am I gonna get sick every time I'm out of the house? And if I'm sick and mom's not there, what's gonna happen? We increased a lot of the outings for Grace. So when we started doing that more regularly and having that consistency for Grace, she started adopting the attitude of, I can do this more. I'll still get anxious, but I know that I can do this without it causing me to, not do these things.
We had been in the program for 2 months, and finally, our family kind of had a whole shift together.
I think in February, I finally graduated. I was really happy, and I got a balloon, and I got a bunk cake. And I was so happy, and I was really proud of myself.
So there was still a lot of fear, of how are we going to continue to work on these goals without Loma Linda? How are we going to continue to do these things? But she just continued to show up.
I was doing a lot better. I was eating. I feel healthy. I feel like myself again.
So we just continued after Loma Linda. We're going to set more goals. And today we're still setting goals.
And it's not, I have anxiety and my name's Grace. It's my name's Grace and I have anxiety.
And it was just kind of really profound, I think, for Grace to finally be like, okay, I do have anxiety. So no matter what she does, she might always have anxiety, but it's now you have all these tools. What are you going to do to help you with the anxiety as you move forward?
I want to be able to be doing good again, and I want to stay this way, and I want to keep working forward and forward. Anxiety is a good thing. It's a superpower. You get to share your story with others and inspire others.
The only word I can think of for Grace right now is I'm just so proud of her, because she's just... those feelings of being so hopeless, in December, they're gone. She's doing great.
I had my 1-year anniversary of anxiety, June 5th. It was a little anxiety triggering because what if this is gonna happen again? It's anxiety is very powerful. But you can't always control what happens in life. And it's that's gonna happen again eventually one day, but I'll be ready for it when it happens.
Just thank you from the bottom of my heart for saving my girl and giving us our life back.